In this video, we're going to look at how we can use Drozer to hack Android application vulnerabilities. Drozer is an open source Android security assessment framework specifically designed for security researchers and penetration testers. We can use this framework to identify and exploit vulnerabilities in Android applications or devices. Drozer helps us do this by letting us interact with Android applications and their components directly to test for security weaknesses. Some of the key features of Drozer include the Android application testing, automated exploitation and module system, the ability to perform remote code execution on vulnerabilities, and support for writing your custom exploits on the platform. Drozer works by having a Drozer agent running on the Android device and a corresponding Drozer console running on a host machine that connects to that agent running on the device via something like ADB or a network. Using this connected console, we can then execute commands on the target device. So the most common places that we're going to be using Drozer are to identify improperly exposed Android components, looking for insecure storage of something like sensitive data, exploiting misconfigured filters, looking for SQL injection vulnerabilities, or testing for weak permission configurations. In this demonstration, I'm going to be working on a Windows system with Docker installed and an Android emulator running. So to get started, open up a PowerShell terminal and pull down the Drozer Docker image. We can do that with the command docker pull with secure labs/Drozer. This will pull down the Docker image of Drozer that we can work with. Next, I've installed a deliberately vulnerable application on my emulator device using the command ./adb.exe install-t followed by the name of my APK file. This will set up a vulnerable application on my emulator. There are a variety of different tools you can use to run emulators for your Android devices, including Android Studio or Genymotion, and in this case, I'm running an emulator on Android Studio. So now that we have the Docker image for Drozer and an emulator running with a vulnerable application, we need to put the Drozer agent onto our device. To download the Drozer agent, open up a web browser and navigate to the URL seen at the top of my screen, which is github.com/with-secure-labs/drozer-agent/releases/tag/3.1.0. On this page, scroll down to the assets header and download drozer-agent.apk. Once you have the APK downloaded, you'll need to install it on your device in the same way that I installed the previous application. So I'm going to use the command ./adb install-t drozer-agent.apk. And now my Drozer agent is installed on the device. Now that the Drozer agent is installed on your device, you'll need to start the actual application. So in your emulator, if you go to your list of applications, you should see a Drozer agent application there. Opening the application, we can go down to the bottom and click the off button to change it to on. And now our Drozer agent is running on an embedded server at TCP port 31415. So now our device is ready, and this sets up our device to be connected to via the Drozer console. Next, we need to set up the device to forward our connection using the command ./adb forward TCP:31415 TCP:31415. And now our device is set up to forward that port connection. Now, let's obtain a shell into our Drozer container. We'll do that with the command docker run --net host -it --entry point sh with secure labs/Drozer. Now we have an interactive shell in our container for Drozer. Here, we can start to run commands. If I just type in Drozer, we can see a help output showing us the commands that can follow Drozer. In this case, to connect to an emulator running on our local host, I'm going to use the command drozer console connect --server host.docker.internal. And here we can see that we've connected a Drozer console successfully to our emulator device. So now we can start to use Drozer to perform exploits and information gathering. Let's start by finding some installed applications. We'll run app.package.list, and this will enumerate all of the installed applications on our device. If I look through the list, I can see the vulnerable application I've installed on our device here where it says infosecadventures.allsafe. If I want to examine that app specifically, I can use the command run app.package.info -a followed by the application name, infosecadventures.allsafe. And here we get some specific information about the application. This can be extremely helpful for your information gathering, as we can see some very useful information like all of the permissions that this application uses on the device. We can also see the version number, the process name, the APK path, and any shared libraries or user IDs. Now let's continue our information gathering to see if there are any exported activities from this application, which would be activities that could be launched by external applications. We'll do that with run app.activity.info -a, followed by the application name again. And this gave us a list of the activities in the app, but not necessarily whether or not they are exported. To get more detailed information, I can use the same command followed by -i. And we can see a similar output, but with much more detailed information. And in this case, we don't see any exported activities because exported true is not present under any of these activities. But under InfoSec All Safe Challenges Deep Link task, we can start to see there might be something going on here, specifically with this congrats data, and looking at information like this can help focus our penetration testing activities. Next, let's test if this application is vulnerable to SQL injection. To do that, I'm going to use the command run app.provider.info -a, followed by the name of the application. And here we can see that there are null permissions, so let's try and dump the database contents. We can do that with run app.provider.query content : // and we'll paste in this content provider string. But we were not successful. We couldn't get a content provider client for the data provider. And there's a variety of reasons for this. It might not be vulnerable for SQL injection, the content provider itself may not be exported or may require permissions that we don't see here, or the app might be using content provider protection mechanisms. But this is how we can start to try to exploit the applications. We could also check to see if there are any insecure broadcast receivers with the command run app.broadcast.info -a, followed by the name of the application. And we do have a receiver, but once again it's not exported, so we likely can't inject directly into that. Let's continue our information gathering using the command run app.package.manifest infosecadventures.allsafe, which will show us the manifest file for the application, which once again can be used to get information about vulnerabilities or potential issues that could be exploited in the application. And let's try to identify the attack surface of our application. To do that, I'm going to use the command run app.package.attacksurface, followed by the name of the application. And here we actually get some new information. This attack surface has found that 3 activities are exported, 1 broadcaster receiver is exported, 1 content provider is exported, and 1 service is exported, where previously we thought that these particular items were not exported. This goes to show that when you're performing penetration testing with Drozer or any other tool, just because one path leads you to a dead end doesn't mean that you should stop looking for other ways to get that information. Now let's see what we can do with the scanner modules. I'm going to try to look for the various URIs that we could query for the content providers in the application. To do that, I'm going to use the command run scanner.provider.findURIs -a, followed by the name of the application. And then Drozer scans the URIs, and we can see we get no response from some of the content URIs, but we do get responses from the content URIs for the data provider. And we could try to query these URIs with the app.provider.query command. And if we want to see what arguments we pass to this command, we can pass in the -h flag after it, which tells us how to use this command. And we can use that -h flag for any command we want to get more information about. So let's try the command with the content provider that got a response. And now we have successfully performed an exploit on the application. We were able to extract information from the database via that URI. We can see in the output the columns of ID, user, and notes, and some of the information associated with it. So for example, on the admin column, we can see a note saying, "I cannot believe that Jill is still using 123456 as her password." So this shows how we can go about information gathering and exploiting applications using the Drozer tool.